GEEKOM has taken their A5 mini PC and given it the Pro treatment. Normally we'd expect just a CPU swap, but nope, this one gets a case swap as well. Gone is the modern plastic Intel NUC style case, switch for a metal, more OG Intel NUC style case. The A5 Pro is a very small mini PC, and same as what we've seen with other high-end compact GEEKOM models. It feels nice and premium in the hands. Also looks nicer, but can potentially have wireless and Bluetooth issues without good antenna placement. So we'll see how that holds up later. Apart from the metal case, the CPU has been switched from the AMD Ryzen 7430U to the AMD Ryzen 7530U. Or so I thought. Turns out there's also an A5 Pro with a 7430U released in 2025, and we didn't look at it. Oh. But here we are with a 2026 edition. A higher CPU number should equal better, so we'll see how the 7530U holds up against the A5 7430U in the benchmarks. And just a reminder, it is a low power chip, so don't expect a speed demon, or get, too excited. GEEKOM's A5 Pro comes with a reasonably compact 19V 65W power supply, HDMI cable, and a VESA mount with screws. This mini comes in at $569 for the 1TB SSD, 16GB RAM combo, which is unsurprising in the current market. How times have changed. Thanks, DRAM cartel. Port-wise, we have dual USB-A 10GB on the front, a 3.5mm audio jack, and the power button. On the side is a full-size SD card reader, which is a nice bonus, and GEEKOM has gone with a Realtek Wi-Fi 6 chip for wireless and Bluetooth. The back has the barrel jack power input, dual HDMI 2.0, dual USB-C 10GB with display out, but sadly no power delivery support. There's also Realtek 2.5GB LAN, USB-A 10GB, and USB 2. Opening it up is the usual annoyance. These glued on rubber feet are stuck on hard. Next we have 4 screws, and then no easy way to pop off the lid. Be careful of the wireless cable, remove the screws from the metal plate, and we're in. Included is a 16GB kit of DDR4 3200 and a 1TB WADPOSIT NVMe SSD. There's also an M.2 2242 SATA SSD slot for extra storage. The M.2 wireless card is under the main storage drive. GEEKOM includes Windows 11 Pro, and the A5 Pro came back clear after scanning it for malware. I tested Ubuntu and everything seems to be okay with both wireless and Bluetooth working fine, which is the most common issue. The A5 Pro has a default performance profile out of the box, as well as a faster performance profile. Both were tested. The quiet mode was not tested. In Cinebench single core, the A5 Pro is slightly ahead of the A5 by a few percent, while multi-core performance had it behind the A5, and the same with performance mode, strangely enough. Geekbench shows almost identical scores in single core, while multi-core performance is a win for the A5 Pro in both modes. Next up, the H.264 CPU video encoding test, and the two minis are similar in the out-of-box experience, with the A5 Pro taking the win in performance mode. Same thing happened in the much longer AV1 encoding test. These CPUs are far too weak for local AI deployment, but here's how the Pro holds up on the chart, slightly better than the A5. The AI GPU test shows near identical results. Now on to the 3D Mark graphics scores. In Firestrike, the A5 Pro is behind the A5, even with performance mode, but the difference is small. This result is replicated in TimeSpy, although there's a bigger difference, and Steel Nomad is pretty similar. Overall, without performance mode enabled, the A5 Pro doesn't hold up too well against the A5, considering the better CPU. The weak integrated graphics in the A5 and A5 Pro limits gaming ability to some esports and simple or older games. It's also not too bad to use as an emulation box. The code compile test is far behind the data we do have. You can see the Minisforum UM750L with the Ryzen 7545U does far better. Photoshop performance is unimpressive out of the box. With performance mode, it at least beats the A5. Same thing with Adobe Premiere. The SSD performed identically to the A5 in the storage benchmark. It stayed cool, even under load. Bluetooth range is weak and quite a bit below the average we see across the board at just 3.5 meters or 11.5 feet. The A5 did much better. On the bright side, it looks like wireless antenna placement is good with the A5 Pro, and there were no dropouts at 12 meters or 39 feet from the router using the 5G band. Idle power draw is excellent at just 6 watts and matches the A5. While the maximum power draw goes up for each power mode and doesn't give that much extra performance. The maximum CPU temp is up over the larger A5, but still lower than most minis. Not surprising with a lower power draw. Fan noise is interesting and shows the difference between a bigger unit with better airflow. The out of box noise is pretty low, but more than the A5, while the performance mode under load shoots up to 40 dBA, which would be average compared to other minis. However, taking into account this is a U-series processor, that's not too impressive. In comparison, the A5's performance mode hit just 35 dBA. GEEKOM's A5 Pro is quite a bit smaller in volume than the A5 and one of the smaller mini PCs out there. So if your most important metric is size, you'll be happy with this one. The delete key on startup will get you into the BIOS. Wake on LAN and power loss options are here. The fan policy sets not only the fan, but the performance profile too, and that's it really. The A5 Pro brings a metal case to the table, and the build quality is fine. Price isn't something GEEKOM competes on, and it's not attractive with the A5 Pro. They don't offer a bare bones option either. Corners have been cut on the feature set. While I wasn't expecting most of these, this mini should have at least included USB-C PD. The rubber feet make it annoying to open, although I am happy to see 2 sticks of RAM, which was missing in the last GEEKOM mini PC we looked at. The other points on the checklist are okay, except for performance out of the box. It's lower than the A5. The only way to benefit from the slightly better CPU is to put it in performance mode. Bluetooth range is subpar, but luckily wireless range is okay, which is more important. Idle and load fan noise aren't bad out of the box, but performance mode isn't anything great. The audio latency test for audio production failed in latency mon. GEEKOM does provide drivers and sometimes even BIOS updates. I saw there was one for the other A5 Pro, but note that the web page for this one isn't up yet, and I wouldn't expect many BIOS updates. One reason GEEKOM mini PCs are pricier is that they come with a 3-year warranty, with many other brands having only 1 year. GEEKOM's A5 Pro needs to be set in performance mode to actually be faster than the A5, and that also increases fan noise quite a bit. Apart from that, there's a switch to a smaller metal case, which restricts airflow. All in all, while it doesn't impress, it's fine, and links are in the video description if you're interested. Oh, and if you want to find out more about GEEKOM's A5 minus the Pro, my review of it is right here. Cheers!